hold on to your vinyl. It's Prog Hat.
Hello, welcome back. Thanks for stopping by, clicking on this video, starting a new series to see how far I go with this one. This is called Prog Sunday. And what I've done here, or what I'll probably end up doing, is something different for every Sunday. But I still like making a video for Sunday. I don't know why. I know it's the last day of being off, and the next day is the start of a new week. So there's probably something in that. I don't know. Prog music. I listen to a lot of other types of music: classic rock, classical, blues, jazz, roots rock, early rock, world music. But it all leads me back to my favorite genre, and that is prog rock. The long solos, the extended pieces, the complex music, the great lyrics. I don't wander far from home. I'm back into my prog collection. I picked out 5 records that I wanted to share my thoughts about that are my favorite, and that I like to listen to, not just on Sundays, but also during the week too. The last few weeks I've just been listening to a lot of Yes while I'm at work. Alright folks, let's just go ahead and begin. I may go ahead and go a little fast because I don't want to make this video too long. So, the first album that I simply love by this band, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, is their debut. I love the music on this album. The artwork is really incredible artwork. I love it. I think it fits the music that you're about to experience and listen to. Symphonic, yes, it's there. And folk. I hear folky things in some of the music, especially like the Lucky Man sounds like an old folk song. ELP does a lot of types of, what do you call it, death to the music. I love the piano solos on the 3 Fates. I love the acoustic guitars, the organ, the Moog, and Carl Palmer's drumming is just incredibly. He just adds nice touches to these pieces. The Barbarian, which the album starts off with, is one of my favorites, and the Take a Pebble, where it's kind of just like, it's just the music sounds like you actually throwing a pebble out and it just dances across. That's how the music's like that. It's like real fantasy, and I really do love it for that. I love that Lucky Man still gets played a lot on FM rock radio. Moving on to my second. This is such an incredible. This is another album where, if you were to ask me, name one great example of progressive rock album, I would definitely point you in the direction of Genesis, Nursery Crime. I always kind of wonder what's going on with these little heads that the young girl is doing croquet with. I mean, seems like something political, but I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. Nursery Crime also adds new members that joined the band: Steve Hackett and Phil Collins, after Anthony Phillips left, and I forgot who the other gentleman was, and that was on the album Trespass, which I love that record. The music is real dark, but this is a great example of progressive rock music, and it's because of my take on that is because of the real long songs on here. The music is dark. I already mentioned that, especially like on the tracks. I gotta look at them again. The Giant Hogweed, or Return of the Giant Hogweed, The Musical Box, and Seven Stones. Man, that's such a great track. The Fountain of Salamicus. Probably said that incorrectly. Good album. Like I said, it has lots of great complex, and I like that when the music is real complex. A lot of shifting in the tempos, then some parts where it has some classical feel to it. Nursery Crime, Genesis, excellent record. This next one, and I think the next few records that I picked out of my collection are what they call electric prog. I might have said that wrong too, but this album is good. In Between the Lark's Tongue and Red, Starless and Bible Black. I love this record. It is one, yeah, I do probably play this one some time in the evening on Sundays. This is a reissue, but it sounds really, really good. This features the band members on this is, of course, Robert Fripp, David Cross, John Wetton, might have said that in, and one of the best prog jazz, Bill Bruford, is on this album. This album is just so incredible. What I understand that the band wanted to capture the energy of their live shows, and some of this has parts of it where it's live. There's great tracks like my personal favorites are The Great Deceiver, Lament, Fracture, and The Night Watch. Those are some of my personal favorite. Musically, like as I mentioned, there's a lot of complex passages in the music. It is a very experimental album, and there's just a lot of great atmosphere to the pieces of music on this album. Highly recommend this. I don't think even the CD of this, the reissue of this, sounds really, really good. All right, moving on. These are not in no order like 5 to 1, or I just picked 5 prog albums here that I love. Next is Gentle Giant, Three Friends. Quick story about this album. I didn't know who they were. I was working in a warehouse with a guy that heard me talking about prog music, and he came up to me and he said, "You ever heard of Gentle Giant?" And he shocked me because he didn't look like a guy that listened to progressive rock. And I said, "No." He goes, "I have a couple of CDs in my desk that I'll let you borrow." And one of them was Three Friends, and the other one was Acquired the Taste. And I became him letting me borrow those. I became a fan real quick. This is Three Friends, another great example of prog rock. This album, I didn't know this, that it is a concept album where it's about exploring the paths musically of three friends, and that music is really executed and adds to the layered depth to the music on this album. So I did not know it was a concept album. The band is so versatile on this album. They do a lot of rock. They do jazz fusion. There's some heavy moments. There's classical influences. So this is a well done album, and it's just amazing. Now mine is not I think I've seen where this is a gatefold. Mine is not like that. But some of my favorite tracks on this one are School Days, Working All Day, and Peel the Paint, and of course Three Friends, released back in 1972. There's the band. And now the last album is a dark masterpiece, another great example of progressive rock, and that is Van der Graaf Generator, H to the He, who am the Who Am the Only One. Excuse me there. This is a reissue, but it sounds really, really good. I like the cover, the reissue cover. They did a nice job. So deep and dark, this album. I love Peter Hamill's vocals are very emotional, very theatrical on the album. There's a guest appearance of guitar work done by Robert Fripp on the track that is called, let me see here, not House with No Door, The Emperor in His War Room. Features Robert Fripp on guitar. There's a lot of other really good tracks, especially the track Killer, House with No Door, Lost. The album theme seemed to be about isolation and loneliness. Great bass line on the track House with No Door. And of course the great guitar playing of Robert Fripp on the Emperor is The Emperor in His War Room, excuse me. But this album also kicks in some free jazz and really strong in a lot of jazz. You get a lot of great saxophone and organ playing, and musically there's a lot of shift in tempos. So something has happened, it just keeps changing, but it's all good from beginning to end. Well, folks, those are 5 favorite prog albums. They're not, and it wasn't no in order or from least to the best. These are just 5 records that I love. I hope you appreciate my insights. Thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you soon.